Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the big show. I am Al Walsh. Follow me on Twitter at 1480.walsh, as you see below on the bottom. And I'm joined by only the money man coming from ATX this morning, Adam Wagner.
What's up? We're trying to get rid of this football problem we got down here in Austin, Texas. So the only way to do that is to have a little bit of brewski. And
Very
you can
nice.
share.
I have a bottle of Jameson.
Send it this way. Send it this, like we're still drinking from last night, just trying to, like, the brisket was good enough, but obviously Texas didn't show up at Notre Dame.
I should have.
It's a drinking town with a football problem now, Al. That's what it is. I'm telling you.
Good. That's good. I should pull out the Jameson for the Irish victory last night, but
You don't want to rub it in too much?
No, you know what it is? I know if I pull it out, I'll start swinging it right now. That's not a good thing at 11 Eastern time. So.
Well, it's 10 o'clock here. I mean, it's okay if you don't go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? I can.
If you haven't gone to sleep yet.
I can do beer. I can do beer now and be okay for the rest of the day. But if I pulled the whiskey out, it's gonna be a rough Labor Day weekend. But
your favorite beer? You know, we've been doing all this talk. You know what I mean? I still don't even know your favorate beer. How am I supposed to take you out on?
Oh man, Hoegaarden is probably my favorite.
Oh, I had that actually in well, I'm not going to tell you where I had it, but it was overseas somewhere.
Okay.
I don't want to give away some positions around the globe for some people that might not like America.
All right. Right on. Yeah, I mean, I like Hoegaarden. That's pretty good. I mean, if I'm just drinking like a 30-pack, I go Miller Lite over like Coors Light or Bud Light. I'm a big fan of these root beer beers.
You drink for effect and not the taste, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, look, I'm not a craft beer guy by any means. Like,
Right.
you know, if it's in a bottle or glass, odds are I'm probably going to drink it. But the one beer that I don't drink is Budweiser cans because it tastes exactly like NASCAR. I don't like my beer.
NASCAR is good. NASCAR is good.
I don't like it. Oh, I don't know. There's something about Bud cans that just doesn't do it for me.
Well, I will have myself every 4th of July. I'll go out and have myself a Budweiser can just because it's fucking America, damn it.
Hey, look, I don't need to go around Hacksaw Jim Duggan waving my American flag. People know I'm American. I'm on Team America. So
right on.
We're good. We're good.
With all those dolls and everything too.
Yes, yeah, fuck yeah. Last night I hit the Oddball comedy tour, which was pretty damn awesome. Anthony Jeselnik, my dude, absolutely killed it. Aziz Ansari was there. Amy Schumer didn't have. Yeah, Amy Schumer really didn't have that great of a set. I mean, you know, it's just a lot of like, you know, dick jokes that she goes with, you know, and her being fat. So, I mean, I've heard them all already. So, but actually, two of the guys that I did not expect to see there, I know they're pretty funny, but Jay Farrow from Saturday Night Live, and also Michael Che, he's the on the Weekend Update. He's not the white guy; he's the black guy. So, but he was really funny because every time I've seen him, you know, he's always in a suit and everything like that. So, you know, at the show last night, he's got like the hoodie, like decked out with the hat back and everything. It was just funny to see him in that kind of light. But he absolutely crushed it. He was really good. Jay Farrow was probably like the top guy of the night, though. He had an awesome set.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, I love those.
Let's tell our viewers what they're gonna get today.
Baseball.
That's baseball. And you saw me doing the Warrior as I was coming in. I want to give DFS Warrior some props for putting this out there, man. He's
definitely.
He's a fan of the show. He knows his knowledge as well. So if you don't catch it here, check out DFS Warriors. He's got over 2,000 followers on Twitter. He knows his stuff. Check him out. Ace Cervantes, my local guy here in Austin, Texas, always tweeting out his stuff. King of the gifts.
The gift king.
and all of our supporters out there, thank you very much. Welcome to the show. We're going to break it down and start getting started. Al, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, we'll start it off here in my neck of the woods. Tampa Bay Rays are at the Yankees today. Chris Archer goes for the Rays, 12-10, 2.78 ERA, going up against Ivan Nova, 5-7, 4.50 ERA. Tampa's a slight 120 favorite in this, and we got an over-under line set at 7.5. I'm a huge fan of Archer today. I understand what the Yankees do, but they also are prone to have these days that they give up, big performances to pitchers in this one. If you're going with Archer today, I give you a pat on the back. Not necessarily the way I'm going today. In my eyes, there's one option and one option only. But we can. I could definitely get behind Archer.
All right. Well, there's some guys on the Yankees that hit Archer pretty well. One of them is Jacoby Ellsbury. So for 3,100 today, Ellsbury will get you average of 667, on base percentage of 714, slugging percentage of 889, and then that overall OPS at 1603. And he's got over 20 at bats on Archer. So he sees Archer well. Check the injury status on Ellsbury. He's been a little banged up lately. But his boy hitting right behind him, Gardner, he's doing the same thing, and he's at the same price at 31. His numbers are a little down on Archer. 333, still not a bad day at the office. Slugging 619 with an OPS of 1010, or a solid one with that 010, just so we're not confusing anybody. You got any bats for Tampa Bay that you like?
I sure do. Ivan Nova, not too good against left-handed batters, giving up 362 WOBA and only striking out 8.1% of those hitters. I know Roto Grinders has him as elite plays. I like this before I even saw their website today. But Jaso and Asdrubal Cabrera. Jaso is going to be at minimum price. I know the lineups are out now. So, Jaso's leading off today, actually, and Cabrera's in the 6 hole. I love Jaso even more. They're at minimum price. Asdrubal Cabrera is only 3,100. So I really like that a lot as well. I'm going to be fading off my cheap shortstops like I always do. But I think Asdrubal can have himself a nice little day here against Nova.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like Asdrubal Cabrera. I've always liked Asdrubal Cabrera, especially when he's back on the Tribe. I just thought he's a solid hitter. But some bats for Tampa Bay that I can't stand this guy. He looked better in an Oriole uniform, that's for sure, but we don't need him at third base. Longo, man. Evan Longoria against Nova. He's hitting 313 with an OPS of 996. He's going to cost you 3,000 today. But another guy, he's hitting in the 7th hole. That's kind of a little bit of a deterrence for me, but his price is right. For 2,400, James Loney is going to get you an average versus Ivan Nova of 467 with an OPS of 1022. So that's some numbers that you might want to think about if you're trying to get some big bats in there at third base that cost you around $6,000. Go ahead and try and get Loney in there at 2,400.
Yeah, for the Yankees, I know Didi's been swinging a hot bat. That's not a bad option. Pretty damn expensive though. 3,400 for a guy batting 8th. I'm not about that life. I think like Jaso, if you're going to go with one of the high-end pitchers today, Jaso's probably a must-have. Asdrubal's not a must-have for me, but I really do like his matchup. 0 for 5 against Nova career. Jaso's 1 of 5 against Nova in his career. So, I like them to kind of get the average up a little bit against Nova today.
Right
on. All right, let's.
I'm not going with anybody in this game. I'm staying away from it.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going with Jaso as my catcher. Minimum price, lead off. Sign a brother up. All right.
Don't threaten you with a good time.
Somewhat. Where are we here? All right. Let's get to your boys. Our residential Orioles expert here, Adam Wagner, on the show. So the Orioles are at the Jays. Chris Tillman goes for the Birds, 9-10, 4.87 ERA, going up against Marco Estrada, 11-8, 3.16 ERA. Jays 172 favorites in this with the over/under set at 9, up to our nation's hat. A lot of bats to be had here. Where are we going first? Well,
5,900, Josh Donaldson versus Tillman. No big deal. He's only hitting 333, just under a solid 1 for that OPS at .980. The price tag on Donaldson is high, but you know what you're gonna get. He's proven that his value is worth it. 5,900 gets Donaldson in your lineup at third base today. And his boy across the way at the other corner, Encarnacion versus Tillman. He's 318 with an OPS of .884. He'll cost you 4,900. But the guy I really like that's the value here is Pilar, man. Versus Tillman, he's got numbers of 364 average and then an OPS of 1364. So that means that slugging percentage is up at 1,000. That's a nice number to have at 2,700. He's got a nice little value play there. Get a Blue Jays stack if you can, no matter what. Get the Blue Jays stack. Tillman's numbers versus the Blue Jays are just god awful. 327. The Blue Jays are averaging 327 on this dude. You already know, they can crush the ball. They're in the Rogers Center, up in Toronto. It wouldn't matter anyways. Both parks are awesome parks to hit in. But yeah, so the Orioles or Tillman is letting the Blue Jays have an average of about 327, which is just awful. And then, that OPS for the Blue Jays against Tillman is rocked up there around .943. That's get that stack. Get that Blue Jays stack, man. You might want to consider Estrada in this game.
Okay.
You know how I am. I'm not a fan of of the AL East parks. I definitely don't like having a pitcher in those parks. But Estrada today at 8,800 or 8,800, he's looking nice against the Orioles. He's held the Orioles under 200 average at 194, and that OPS is at 672. So Estrada might be a nice play there.
Yeah, Estrada's not much of a strikeout pitcher, which is fine. But anytime that you're going against the Blue Jays, or anytime you have a Blue Jays pitcher, that you're going to get some run support. So
you're probably going to get that you're probably going to get that 4-point bonus.
Yeah, so I can get behind that. If we're talking in terms of O's bats, I really like Chris Davis a lot. We talk at length about this guy all the time, how sweet that swing is and all. Gonna run you 4,600 today, which isn't that horrendous, but the guy's gone. He's
got 40 home runs, baby. You know what I mean? He's
got two. He's got two multi-homer games in his last 3.
Crush his back, bro. Crush his back.
Yeah, five homers in his last 4 games. So, it seems like he's swinging the bat very well. I definitely want to get some Chris Davis exposure. It just seems like every time I see an Orioles highlight of them in Toronto, he hits a home run. I don't know. It's just something that I always catch. I caught it the other day, and I like him a lot today. If I can get him in my roster, I think he's going to be there.
Good deal.
Don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm sure.
The Orioles lose today. That's for. It's. I don't know if we're packing it up, but it ain't looking good.
How many games out of the wild card are you?
I stopped looking, to be honest with you. I was just getting depressed.
I looked the other day. I could have swore it said 6.5 out of the wild card.
6.5, yeah, and we were up. And last week we were up 2 games.
Jeez.
You believe that?
Yeah. My God.
Awful.
My God.
Imagine. That's just. It's a bad time here at the Wagner Wire headquarters south in Austin, Texas, man. It's just depressing times. Christ, it's 10. We're drinking at 10 o'clock, Al.
Hey, been there. Been there before. Definitely been there. Oh, bored. All right, let's move it on to.
I don't hate beer. I rather drink liquor or something like that. But you can't drink liquor before noon, then you really have a problem.
Yeah, right. That's why the Jameson didn't come out yet. All right, so let's get to Cleveland at Detroit here. Cody Anderson goes for the Tribe, 2-3, 4.17 ERA. Goes up against Verlander, 3-6, 3.40 ERA. Detroit's a 133 favorite with the over/under set at 8.5. Verlander's been pretty Verlander-ish over the last couple starts. Don't know if I'm going to put him in against this, this Cleveland offense stacked with left-handed bats. But listen, Verlander's hit double digits on FanDuel in his last 5 starts. He won his last 2 decisions. He had that near no-hitter against the Angels a couple weeks ago, or what was that, the 26th of August. I can't tell you that this is going to be a terrible play, but I think there's better matchups out there,
Right on. Well, I mean, I talked to Kate the other night, and she said Justin's just back to form, and you know, she's really liking what he's doing at the house. You know, cleaning up the dishes and all that jazz.
I heard he's got a mean mop game.
He does. And he's working on those lats, right? So when you mop, you're moving it from back and forth, and you get a little bit of lats going there, and it's really working on his release form, because throwing the ball, it's the shoulder and the lats, you know what I'm saying? So Kate loves it. He's doing great stuff around the house. He's back to form, it looks like, but still, I'm not going to take him in this game. Gomes against him, he's going to get you for 2,600 in that lineup against Verlander. He's got a nice little 333 average with an OPS of 873. And your boy that you really like to call fat all the time, Santana. Fat Carlos Santana, right? Well, 3,200 against Verlander. He's got a nightmarish 213 average, but that OPS is 926. And he's got 6 home runs off Verlander. So he might be a good tournament play. If you're looking for, you know how like in tournaments you always need home runs. You need a pitcher that gets you at least 15 to 20, and you need some home runs. So if you're looking for a nice tournament play, this might be it.
Right.
I don't like any bats though in Detroit for some reason today. I can't get behind Cabrera. He kind of hurt me the past 2 games. Spending a lot of money on him. He's at 48 tonight, or 48 today. I'm going to stay. I got another better play at first base.
All right, fair enough. I can get behind Jason Kipnis. He'll run you 3,300 on FanDuel. I think that's a tremendous price for Kipnis. If we're going anywhere else, I guess maybe a Lindor would be somebody that I might get in there. A little 1-2. But again, Verlander's been so good. I don't. I mean, the line's set at 8.5 today. Maybe that's probably going to be, probably. That's probably going to be with Detroit. Most of those runs. I don't. You're right. I mean, not much that I like. We can take a crack at it with Victor Martinez if you're into playing that kind of game.
His value is low too, right? He's down at like 25, I think.
Yeah. Price check.
Maybe even the minimum wage. But anyways, hey, so our viewers that we kind of have 3 different types of viewers. We got the Wagner Wire viewers. We got Al Walsh at 14A. Walsh. You guys view him a lot, and we also got Nicky Rodriguez. Well, Nicky's not with us today. Okay, Nicky decided to take a little bit of a vacay down in the Keys, which is fine. It's fine, but Nick, how about a little bit of an invitation to the other 2 guys? We can come with you and we can do the show in the Keys, Nick.
Oh my God. Speaking of drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning, I mean, that's what I would be doing.
That's what I'd be doing. That'd be Mai Tais, man. Well, Mai Tais. Yeah. That's like a South Pacific type of deal. But I mean,
we get like a show going from the pool. We do all sorts of things.
We get a cruise, a DFS cruise. Oh my
God. That's not a bad idea.
That's all I have is good ideas, Al.
I can see a bunch of people getting thrown off that damn thing, though. Like, that would not be safe.
Taking that ship over, commandeering that vessel is what I could see.
Well, you know what you do, too? You don't even do a cruise ship. You do, like those gambling boat, those river gambling boats.
Oh, yeah.
The river boat, gambling river boat, whatever they're called. Let's get one of those.
We'll take it on up the Mississippi, huh? We'll take it on up the Mississippi.
We can get 2 boats. We'll get a cruise ship going, and then we'll get the riverboat gambler.
You heard it. You heard it, guys. Al said it. It's going to get a little crazy. 2 boats. We're going to get 2 boats.
If you don't like what's going on the riverboat, you just switch it over to the cruise ship and vice versa, I mean, I'm sure there's some safety issues somewhere in there. But we can get a helicopter to go from ship to ship,
Don't threaten me with a good time, brother. I'm there.
I got this. I got the ideas. All right, sounds like, Cleveland, Detroit is not our cup of tea, mainly because we don't like pieces of shit in our tea. So let's move it along.
Justin's doing well around the house. I do like that.
I will say I am very happy for Verlander because, listen, this guy was one of the most successful pitchers in all of baseball. And then, kind of went downhill. And, yeah, maybe, Dayton Kate Upton.
Wears his pants like a true baseball player.
Yeah. That's so important around here.
It is. It's a valid point.
I don't know. I mean, maybe got a little sidetracked Dayton Kate Upton. Who knows? I'm not going to speculate on that. But, it's good. Excuse me?
Would you be sidetracked dating Kate Upton? I'd be too busy at World of War or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I mean, I get
what is it, World of Warcraft or whatever she's on?
Yep. I mean, I get sidetracked watching SportsCenter. I mean, and there's really not even that many women involved. Not that I'm saying. No, never mind. I'm not even gonna go.
We're good. Next game.
Basically, I was saying it doesn't take much to sidetrack me. All right. Jesus. All right. Next game: Milwaukee, Cincinnati. Jimmy Nelson for the Brew Crew, 11-10, 3.70 ERA. Going up against Michael Lorenzen, 3-8 with a 5.66 ERA. Brewers slight favorites at -115 with the OU set at 8.5. I like some people here. Actually, like a lot of bats here today.
Well, let's go with you first, brother. Let's go with you.
Well, here's the deal. I like Jimmy Nelson as a pitcher. I think he's great. Seems like a great guy to have a beer with. I don't know this based on anything. I just know that he's done me well in fantasy before. Now, the pitcher that he's going up against today, Michael Lorenzen, gives up a homer and a half for every 9 innings. So I think getting some Brew Crew bats in the lineup is pretty vital today. And you want to start it, with the left-handed bats, of course. Adam Lind, Scooter Gennett, both of these guys would make tremendous. I think, I was talking about Chris Davis earlier. Now that I see, I forgot that Michael Lorenzen was starting. So I think I might try to target Lind and Gennett. And then, of course, Brian Braun there in the mix.
Right.
It
doesn't matter what hand the pitcher is. Ryan Braun's a solid hitter. Righty versus righty, he's going to take it out of the yard.
Indeed. All right, so Lynn's actually going to run you 4,100 today on FanDuel. And then the Scooter, he will run you minimum price today. So, sorry, Jason Kipnis, but you're out of the lineup. Scooter's going in because he's going to be making it around the bases plenty today. Chris Davis, I mean, listen, if they're wearing a Brewers jersey.
Chris Davis with a K. Chris Davis with a K.
Correct. Yeah, if they're wearing a Brewers jersey and they have a bat in their hand, they're a good play today.
I like it. The Brew Crew stack. Well, I'm going to go ahead and touch on the Red Legs then, since you hit up the I like Scooter Gennett. I got him in my lineup as well. Jay Bruce for 2,400. He's been a little bit of a wave, but he's had that rise come up. Been on a good little rise here of late for Jay Bruce. For 2,400, that outfielder versus Jimmy Nelson will get you an average of 273 slugging, 727 with an OPS of 1061. That's some decent value, especially for a 2,400 price on FanDuel. You should definitely consider that. A guy, Joey Votto, $5,000 on FanDuel versus Nelson. He's only got 250. His average versus Jimmy Nelson is only 250, but it doesn't matter, man. Votto's last 7 games, he's 10 for 20, hitting 500s with 2 home runs. I don't think anybody has been hotter than Joey Votto of late. Do you? First baseman. There's Carlos Gonzalez has gone off. Right. Joey Votto at first base. He's been pretty hot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you stick Joey Votto in your lineup, you're getting at least 5 points. But I mean, well, except for Friday when the damn game got rained out. Yeah. Now Friday was awful. I had guys rained out in baseball and college football, so that might be a DFS first. But yeah, absolutely, Joey Votto. I've actually been watching a lot of the Reds games this week, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to watch this guy play baseball. The guy sounds like he's from Staten Island, New York. Where the family owns the deli, but he's actually from Toronto. You
know what I like? I always like when the Reds are playing defense and like the balls hit the Brandon Phillips and he does like a magical play behind his back, flipping it to Votto, and Votto is always amazed. He's just like, oh my God. You can read his lips when he catches it. He's just like, oh my God. And he looks up, he's like, did you all see that? Yeah, we saw it. We saw it, Votto.
That dude BP. I actually I used to write articles for content for Brandon Phillips' personal website. It's so funny. It's like because one of the guys that I wrote when I wrote for Amari Stoudemire's website, and I actually met him. I got to go to this event where he's doing a documentary premiere, and I went up to Amari. I was like, hey man, I'm Al Walsh. I write for your website, and he looked at me like, I got a website? Like, all right, cool. So
his marketing strategist probably set it up for him.
Yeah,
So is that when Amari was back at the Knicks?
Yeah.
And that was your gig with Knicks.com as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I basically just produce content for the websites. And it's funny being a Nets fan. My buddy saw an ad on Twitter one day. It was like, hey, you should definitely write or check this out. So they selected a bunch of people. I was one of them, and but it was great because I was still in school at the time. So people were producing content for most like the guys on the Knicks, their websites and all that kind of stuff, but. I was able to turn that opportunity. I just talked to the main guys, like, listen, is there anything I could do to like make this an internship? So then that allowed me to do other things. So like, I'd write for like Brandon Phillips, Vernon Davis's website, Brad Richards as well. So it opened up a lot of doors for me.
Land of opportunity, dude.
Yeah,
awesome.
not like it helped me like anywhere afterwards. Like what the hell?
Well, I mean, it is helping. Look at what's going on now. I mean, this is
what
we have here. We have this awesome show that's about to get picked up,
which is bringing in millions and millions of $0.
Hey, so like we mentioned before, man, we really appreciate you guys following us and everything. November 12th through the 14th will be a DFS Players Conference up in New York City. Al and myself will be there. You guys should definitely look into it. You can follow them on Twitter at DFS Players Con. That's going to be a pretty cool thing. It's a seminar. It's a getaway, like a conference for the DFS players, man. You won't have anybody there trying to sell you stuff. You'll just have people there talking about strategy and the stuff that they get to do or the stuff that they like to do when they're playing DFS. So check it out. Also, if you go, an exclusive. We're not going to tell you right now. We'll have more information for it later. All right, but exclusive contest only for the registered people that are at the DFS Players Con. So that's something that you might want to check out. If you go to the Big Three DFS Morning Show Twitter handle, they follow us. You can follow them as well from that. That's an easy way that you can follow them. Look it up, man. It's a pretty good deal. It's really cool to see people looking out for the DFS players. This market's growing, guys. Get in now while it's hot.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what you said, Matthew Berry, he'll be there. He's going to be the keynote speaker. And then, yeah, I mean, listen, if you're as into this whole DFS game or as we are, it's just going to be a weekend full of ways to make yourself better at this game. I mean, I know me and Wags, we want to be at the top of the hill when this whole DFS thing is all said and done. But, this is the kind of things that you need to do to get there. Like
rubbing elbows and everything.
Exactly. You get to hear, some success stories, how guys have done it before. I mean, sure, you can probably put a random lineup in one day and win, but, you definitely want to do that on a consistent basis, So, I mean, I'm looking to make this my career, and, believe me, this is a great stepping stone to that too. Right. And
those of you guys that do follow us, you kind of got the idea right now. This is kind of like what we want to do. We want to have our own show. We want to give information for you guys. Not just information on the lineups, man, but like the strategies, man, like what games to play. And if you come to the WagnerWire.com or you go to Al Walsh's site, which I don't know it off the top of my head.
Al Walsh DFS, it'll be completed by Monday.
There you go. But if you come to our sites, you go to Nikki's site, Nikki Rodriguez at dailyfantasyaddicts1.com or fantasyaddicts.com. You really get a sense to get a one-on-one type of atmosphere with us, and we'll help you out, man. We will help you out with the contest to find, because that's one of the most important things to do is finding the right contest. You don't want to get bullied. You don't want to get bullied around this big corporate business of DFS with these. And what I mean by that is you'll have 50 lineups by 3 people. You know what I'm saying? It's just it doesn't give you time. It doesn't give you a chance to actually play your skill. And that's why there's other fantasy DFS fantasy apps out there that I like as well. But I'll talk about them on my show and a little later on with the Big Three DFS show to come. But anyways, we just wanted to touch on that, talk about the DFS Players Con a little bit. During the show and give them some props and definitely advise you guys to get there by any means possible. Again, that's November 12th through the 14th in New York City. Check it out.
Yeah. Hella dap for the DFS Players Conference. All right, back to the lineup. I got back to there's bets on Cincinnati you can get, not against my Jimmy Nelson. All right, the Mets. I hate their guts. They're in Miami today. Steven Matz coming back off the DL. This is very exciting for Mets fans. 2-0 ER or 2-0 record, 1.32 ERA going up against Jared Cozart. 1-4 with a 5.36 ERA. Mets are 135 favorites in this, with the over/under set at 8. I have a feeling Steven Matz is going to be pretty highly owned today. This is a rookie who kind of came on the scene and dominated. It's funny too because in his first game, guy goes like 3 for 3. I believe he had 4 RBIs, and at the time the Mets weren't hitting at all. People were just like, hey, why don't we just stick him in the lineup and hit? So I'll go through some hiccups here. But yeah, I mean, Matt's going against the Marlins. Pretty good matchup. Marlins are pretty decent hitters against left-handers, though. So, I don't think that this is a terrible play. I think, the Mets will score enough runs to get Matz the win today. But, if you're not going with an Archer or a Bumgarner or a Keuchel, Matz is definitely going to be the preferred punt option, I'm thinking, today.
All right.
Popular.
All right. I'm actually going to, flip people's lids with what I'm about to say right here, man.
I hope you're bashing the Mets. Please do.
I'm not going to bash the Mets, but I'm definitely going to give you a little bit of some numbers that aren't good for the Mets.
Okay. Boy, I'm going to love this.
You mentioned Cozart with that nightmarish ERA this season or this year. Well, the guy's a decent pitcher. I think he came from the Astros ball club, as a matter of fact. I think he was an Astro back in the day, back from their farm system. But so he's a highly rated draft pick for 6,800 today. Cozart versus the Mets. He's holding the current Mets. I'm not talking about just Mets of all time. The current Met batters right now, the ones that are in the lineup right now. He has a 222, or I'm sorry, he's holding them to 224 average. Okay, with an OPS of 611. Now I know his season numbers are not sexy. They're not at all. All right, but it's just something to keep in mind if you want to play those big bats in a tournament somewhere. For 6,800, Cozart might be a decent play against the Mets. There is a Met out there that hits him very well, and it's Flores. For 3,100, Flores in your lineup. He's got decent at bats on. He's one of the only ones that has decent number of at bats. Seeing Cozart well, but he's hitting 500, slugging 1,000 with 1,500 OPS. So if Cozart can get around Flores, Cozart might get you some decent numbers. It's a risk, I realize that, but if you're looking to do like an off the wall tournament lineup for $1 or whatnot, and maybe win you $1,000, I don't know. Check it out, man. He's worth a shot.
Yeah, and what's funny? It's interesting about this pitching matchup. I just realized that this is with 2 guys coming off the DL. Cozart hasn't actually started in about 2 months. So Matz, it hasn't been that. I think so, but he had a pretty rough injury. So, but he's back. His rehab starts look pretty good. But I don't. Since it's their first game back, you got to wonder how many innings these guys are going to go. It'll probably turn into a bullpen game.
Probably get you 6. Probably get you 6. Yeah, it'll be a lot of bullpen this game. Maybe if they go 6 innings, I'd be shocked. Well, I mean, that's probably what they will. They'll probably just go 6. Probably get taken out after that just to save the arm.
I know you're talking about the you're talking about the stats against the current Mets. Cozart. I mean, Miami's really not a ballpark that I like to target anyway. They have a really deep right field, so
the only guy that can knock it out of there is Stanton.
Yeah, basically. I mean, so I'm just looking at the line. Like Michael Conforto today, he's batting 3rd. I think that's a pretty interesting play. This kid, he's gone great.
For a long time, dude.
What's up?
Mike Stanton has been out for a while, man.
Oh yeah.
Hurting. I had him in my season-long draft, man.
Michael Conforto, 3,100 today, batting 3rd. I really like that a lot. This is a guy who hits the ball to each part of the field. He utilizes the entire ballpark. Very, very talented young prospect. And, he kind of the Mets started hitting a little better once he got in. I mean, it's not all his doing why they've been on fire, but he kind of came in at the same point as Cespedes. So I like this guy batting third today for that price. Gimme. We'll definitely go that route. That might even be a way to get Chris Davis in the lineup too. So who the hell knows? All right. So yeah, I don't really like anybody else. I mean, if you want to go D Gordon at second base, I'm not going to chop your head off. Lefty matchup though. Not a fan. Martin Prado. I like him. He's a pretty cheap option at third base most of the time. Let's get a price check on the brother. Oh, 3,300. He's been swinging a hot stick.
Yeah, it's been going up.
I did not see that price going up like that. Crap almighty. But yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a minus point day in the last 10 games. Hits in 9 out of the last 10. Only 3 extra base hits in that span, but that'll work.
Right
4. I'm sorry, 4 extra base hits.
Well, hey, also, you guys, you've been hearing us talk about DraftKings and FanDuel and everything, but there's another company out there that does some really good work, and it's FantasyDraft.com. Really good organization. They really focus on the actual DFS play style of the DFS arena, man. So I spoke a little earlier how in FanDuel and DraftKings you can sometimes get bullied by those multiple choice or those multiple lineup contests. FantasyDrafts.com, you got a lot of actual MLB, NFL players that endorse it and play the game. It's some NHL players that endorse it as well. Check them out. FantasyDraft.com. Awesome app to play. Al, myself, Nick Rodriguez, we play it. Yeah, our friends do too. So check it out.
We love it, and we're now friends with Doug Gilmore. So
we are friends with Doug Gilmore.
We're promoting the same site, so we're pretty much best friends. I mean, I'm having a pizza party.
Coming over to my house tomorrow. He's on my fantasy draft team as well. He rocks FantasyDraft.com. All of them. We're having a party. We're gonna have dinner tomorrow.
Right, like I'm having a pizza party at the end of the month, and Doug Gilmore's invited. If he's coming or not, whatever. He hasn't RSVP'd yet. I don't know what's taking him so long. I would love to have Doug Gilmore at my pizza party.
No kidding, man.
He'd be the coolest.
Nice. He'd probably eat all the pizza.
He'd be the coolest guy there. All right, enough about pizza parties and who's coming to them. We got another game to discuss. Hey, it's my Philadelphia Phillies. Boo. They're at Fenway today, hoping not to get swept out of the yard. Jared Eichhoff, part of that Cole Hamels deal, is on the hill today. 1-2, 2.84 ERA. Going up against the lefty Eduardo Rodriguez, 8-5 with a 4.25 ERA. Boston, heavy favorite in this one at 210, and the over-under is set at 9. I feel like Eduardo pitched not too long ago. I guess his last start was against the Yankees. It feels like it was a lot sooner than it actually was, but I guess, it is Sunday, so there you go. But yeah, if we're talking about bats here, I mean, with a 9 over-under, I don't think that it would be smart to play a pitcher. But if we're talking about bats from the Phillies side of things, why not give Darren Ruff a try? He absolutely crushed it for me earlier in the week with that night where he had 13.75. Today, he's got the lefty-righty matchup. He runs you 2,600 on FanDuel. He is batting 6th in the lineup today. Not in ideal spot, but, it's typically where he is. I really like him a lot, especially, if he's got to go up against the Green Monster. He can definitely get it up and over out of there. When he doesn't make contact often, but when he does make contact, ball go far.
Yeah, I'll go a long way.
I really like him a lot. Jeff Francoeur is definitely in the mix, batting cleanup today for the Phils. Price check on you, Frenchie. 2,900. Probably not the most ideal price, but again, lefty-righty matchup. Francoeur is miles better against lefties than he is against righties. That's really all I got for the Phils. Anybody for the Sox for you?
Yeah, I got some. Like you said, Eckhoff doesn't really have a career versus the Boston lineup yet. So he's hard numbers to go off there. But in the last 7 games, Mookie Betts has been producing, man. For 3,800, you can get him in your lineup today at 3,800. His average over the past 7 games has been 455 with 4 extra base hits. Once the guy gets on base, if he only gets a single, he's going to get you. He's going to stretch it into 2. He's going to steal. That's an extra 2 points. So it's actually more advantageous or beneficial for you to have him hit a single and steal and get the 2 points instead of just hit the double and get the 2 points. So that's Mookie Betts is an awesome play to have. Of course, Big Papi for 4,300 as a first baseman in your lineup. 4,300, it's a little pricey. I don't like. There's better first baseman out there for value that you can get today. But Papi over the past 7 games, 304 with 3 home runs. Mookie Betts as well, 4 extra base hits in those past 7 games. So something to consider. Those are the bats. Bogarts had a pretty decent night last night. Boston, they're always going to score runs. I mean, the line they're giving 210. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're going to produce.
When the hell is Boston going to put Jackie Bradley not 9th in the lineup? Like,
the only thing that I can think of that is that it just offers more speed and dynamic hitting when the roster flips or turns over. I don't know, but I definitely think he and Betts can get busy in the 1 and 2 spots of that lineup. Because Brock Holt, man, Holt was good when the season first started, but he's wishy-washy, dude. You know what I mean? You never know what you're gonna get with Holt.
I have a very deep sleeper here today. I really like Travis Shaw from the Red Sox. You can play him at third base. He only runs you 2,900. But check out these stats on Travis Shaw, okay? At home, well, let's go to his road stats first. On the road, he's hitting.
Hold on, give me a pen. Or let me get a pen. You can't really throw me a pen through the computer. I want to write this down because I want to check it out.
All right, he is batting .098 on the road, which is god awful. So he's got a homer and 4 RBIs, 4 RBIs there and 41 at bats. However, at home, in 78 at bats, he's got 6 homers, 13 RBIs, and he's hitting .372. Got the 1.096 OPS. So the guy likes the friendly confines of Fenway. Today,
the park doesn't matter, right? The parks don't matter. I'm joking. I'm being facetious. I wrote a nice piece called "Play the Park, Not the Player." Check it out. It's on the WagnerWire.com. Go ahead, Al.
So today he's batting 5th. He's right behind Papi. In a game with the 9 over/under, I'm sure there's going to be some runs. So that means Ortiz probably get a walk or something like that. The top of this Boston lineup is absolutely smoking the ball. I know you mentioned Mookie Betts, but Bogarts is even on a little tear right now. So if all these guys get on base, guess who's going to be left to clean them up? Travis Shaw, batting 5th there for 2,900. I think this is tremendous value play here today.
Absolutely.
I will be going with Travis Shaw for show. You know what it is? Because I saw this. I remember like looking at the splits on this guy, and I was like, oh my God, I got to bring this up in the show one time. And I never had just because of matchups or whatever, they were never good for the Red Sox. But finally I've been wanting to say this for like a month, and it's like, today's the day against my own team.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to make those calls. Look, I just gave you a Blue Jay stack against the Orioles, bro.
Yeah, very true. It's right. I mean, who knows our own teams better than we, right?
Right. Like when you told me, yo, go get it. Go when Jerome Williams was pitching to one day, he's like, go get a Dodger stack. Or it wasn't a Dodger. It might have been a different team. I'm like, really? Yeah, Jerome Williams is on the mound. Trust me. Yeah, all right. Whatever, man. I cashed.
Cha-ching!
Seriously, I mean, we know our teams, dude. We are the resident experts of our teams.
Yes, very true. All right, enough bashing.
Experts of DFS.
Enough bashing the Phillies. I don't want to cry or anything. All right, so we got Atlanta at Washington in this one. Manny Banuelos, the Southpaw, 1-3, 3.33, 3.333 ERA. Goes up against Tyson's little brother Joe, 5-5 with a 3.50 ERA. Washington a heavy -235 today. with the 8 over-under. So that looks like Mr. Banuelos is going to get smacked around today.
Somebody going to get butt hurt. Somebody going to get butt hurt. Today,
well, you know what? Listen, down in Georgia, it's college football season, so they're like, what Atlanta Braves? Who gives a crap?
When you got Chubb going off for $120 and 2 touchdowns.
Chubby! Oh, man.
That's all right. We only called it yesterday. All of us called it. We listed Chubb. Chubb was our lock.
So, yeah, I mean, just looking at the lineup here, 8 runs. Welcome back, Mr. Bryce Harper, to the world. After a pretty abysmal August, actually one of the hottest hitters in the league right now, second in the league in OPS over the last 7 days. 8 of 17 this last week, 11 runs for Harper.
Yeah.
He walked 11 times. I remember he's the first player in the modern MLB era to get 4 walks and 4 runs in the same game. Even got 2 dongs. I know you had him in your lineup on Friday night when he went dongward. So, yeah, I mean, the lefty-lefty matchup, I don't even think it applies here. Harper's a very good hitter, hitting the ball the other way.
He's been going well this year, hitting lefties.
Yeah, so. I mean, Zimmerman also one of the hottest hitters in the league too. Over the last 7 games, 14 to 30, got 8 runs, 4 homers, and 14 RBIs. Only 4.
And I speak a great point because you mentioned Harper's runs.
Yeah.
Well, if you put these two in like a combo tandem,
yeah.
Zimmerman's the one cleaning them up. And these are the 2 that I had on my card, Al. You speak awesome testament. No, don't. Awesome testament to this. It definitely reassures my picks. You know what I mean? If you know what I know and I'm not even talking to you about it, I got goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a good play.
Zimmerman's going to run you the very expensive high price of $700 today.
And Harper's at 48, but Zimmerman does have that righty-lefty matchup. It doesn't really matter. Like you said, 467, 4 home runs last 7 games. Why is he not in your lineup?
Right. I mean, Chris Davis. Sorry, bud. It's funny. Like a lot of these first basemen are late. You know, you got Votto doing well. Zimmerman, Chris Davis has been hot. I mean, we
will wait till we get down a little bit. I got a nice guy that's just gonna be licking his lips, waiting for that bat.
All right. Anybody from the Braves that you like in this one?
Nicky Markakis, of course.
Of course, and our boy AJ Przinsky.
Yeah. Freddie Freeman, he's just a doubles machine. But like you said, we've been talking a lot of good baseball, a lot of good first basemen. I'm gonna stray from Freddie today.
I got to tell you, speaking of guys that I'm happy to see back, I mean, granted he's a player in my division, but I got tons of respect for Freddie Freeman.
I like him, dude.
I love the way this guy plays ball.
He's a great solid hitter, dude.
He is. He's a very solid baseball player. And then especially on FanDuel, I mean, he doesn't ruin your lineup by, price-wise. 3,500 today is not a terrible price at all for a guy that just gets hits and, drinks beer and he's out of beer. So, here he comes. Not a fan of the Washington, park and right field, but I mean, listen, I think Ruff probably a better play with that, the lefty-righty matchup going up against the Green Monster. But just for future reference, keep Freddie Freeman in the back of your mind.
Will do.
I guess real quick, want to get a price check on AJ. Yours 2,600 today, betting cleanup. Not a terrible option at all. Ross got banged up a little bit in his last start against.
Yeah, I think he only went 2 innings.
Yeah, but that's the Cardinals. This is the Braves. Actually, Ross is rated as the top pitchers today on the board, just behind Chris Archer, Bumgarner. The stats like Cueto a lot today. I don't, but I still have my guy that, I think everybody pretty much knows who it is, but we will get there. All right, so we got the White Sox going against the Royals today. The wind's blowing out 14 miles an hour, so definitely keep an eye on that. I did say out, right? Not in?
Yeah. But I'm emphasizing. Out.
Eric Johnson starting today. Don't really know much about this guy. Could be his major league debut.
Yeah, his debut as a starter.
All right. So we got him, and then he's going up against Johnny Cueto. Cueto's 9-10, 3.04 ERA. KC's a minus 193 favorite with the over-under set at 8. As I just mentioned, Cueto, the second top-rated pitcher on the board today. Tough to justify that now, seeing that the wind's blowing out 14 miles an hour. The White Sox have some pretty decent bats in their lineup. But Cueto will get you some strikeouts.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about Cueto today?
I like him. There's two guys that hit him exceptionally well in that White Sox lineup. But again, I think he can pitch around them. For 3,200, Melky Cabrera versus Cueto, he's got an average of 357, hitting an OPS of 866. Cabrera's batting cleanup today, right behind Abreu. But that guy in front of Abreu is Alexi Ramirez, and he's got some numbers, boy. 3,100. Ramirez is batting 667 with an OPS of 1833 over Cueto. Now, he hadn't seen him much. He's only seen him 6 times, but still, he's 4 for 6. He sees something coming out of the hands of Cueto in his delivery. I don't know if it's the little shimmy that Cueto does to say, hey, I'm throwing the ball right now. But he sees it. Pitchers, the more we all know this. Pitchers, the more times they go through the rotation and the batter gets to see him a little bit more, it's in the batter's advantage. It's same thing with like a long at bat, like a 15 at bat, and the guy keeps fouling it off. It's a good chance the guy's going to chip away and get a hit, unless he just wears down. But anyways, for 3,100 at shortstop, Alexi Ramirez, 667, 1833. I got to say, though, Cueto was the guy that jumped off at me when I looked at the slate. I was just like, this is my guy, but the wind in Kansas City, it does scare me. It's a big park, but still, 14-mile-an-hour wind, man. That's
yeah. Now
that's alarming to say the least.
Doing a little bit of reading here on Eric Johnson. He actually had 136 strikeouts in 132 innings in the minor leagues this year. I'm reading this off of Roto Grinders, but he says he's got past major league experience, but he was hit hard in the couple of starts that he had. It's just, I guess after reading that, it kind of makes it's just a little bit of the unknown. So I'm not sure what kind of pitcher this guy is at all. Right. But a lot of these things are just flying in at the second. This is how baseball works. Yeah. But I'm looking at Casey's lineup today, and noticeably
September call-ups.
Noticeably absent are Lorenzo Cain and Eric Hosmer, both out of the lineup today. So you can get some value here. Moustakas is batting third. Morales is fourth. I like Alex Gordon there at fifth. Yeah, he's 2,800 on FanDuel. I mean, he's had
Salvi Perez. He's always a value.
Right. I mean, so you got some pretty good bats here. If KC's favored, by that much,
and almost 2.
8's basically telling you there's going to be some runs in this one. I really like Alex Gordon at that price point. I am taking a shot in the dark because I have no idea what type of pitcher Eric Johnson is, but that's fine. I mean, hell, the ball's going to the plate, right?
Right.
And Alex Gordon, go hit it. All right, let's move it to Houston, where my top pitcher of the day lies. Tyler Duffy goes for the Twins, 2-1.
Oh, you like Tyler Duffy today, huh?
Yes, yeah. I think he's going to be tremendous. Tyler Duffy, 2-1, 4.56 ERA, goes up against Dallas Keuchel at 16-6 with the 2.24 ERA. Houston, a very heavy favorite at minus 234. Over under set at 7.5 today. All those things being said, this sets up for a tremendous day for Keuchel. Minnesota, look, they got the right-handed bats to go up against Keuchel, but I'm not worried. Keuchel's 12-0 this year at home, 1.35 ERA. He has just over a strikeout per inning at home this year.
Lights out.
He loves him some Houston baseball. I'm not worried about Sano. I'm not worried about Dozier. They can go kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. He's just Keuchel is just on a roll right now that we haven't really seen in the league. I guess like like a Kershaw or a Greinke or something like that. But
he's the new guy. He's the talent. He's the new arm, right?
And he's got a beard, so yeah.
Got a hell of a beard.
Yeah.
He's got a beard that you can get lost in.
And I got a nice bat here too. If I told you that the hottest player in Major League Baseball is on the Houston Astros, who would you guess it would be? Well, this is over the last week, so who's the hottest?
Over the last week?
Yeah.
Over the last week?
Yep.
Well, it ain't Correa. He's only hitting 300 over the past 7. Gonna have to go with Jed Lowry.
Oh, ding, 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 ding! You would be correct.
I am an expert, Al.
I kind of set that up so that it would be like a shocking name. But 7-19 over the last week, 2 homers, 3 ribs, 6 runs, got 2 doubles in there. OPS of 1.697. This sets up pretty nicely.
Had a nice home run last night.
Sure did. But yeah, I mean, Duffy, he's not exactly a guy that I'm remotely scared about. Not necessarily better or worse against right or left-handers. Everybody hits him. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but it's like you got a hitter on your team where you have the same pitcher, and like let's say he goes yard, it's kind of put yourself in a better spot to win because of that. It's kind of like a 10-point home run almost, you know. So definitely going with Keuchel, and I am not even thinking about anybody else today.
I like the deliberate. I don't even know the English word for this. The deliberate. It's deliberation. Is it? No, definitely not.
Deliberation.
I like your deliberate approach to the lineup.
All right.
I love the conviction behind your pick in Keuchel. $11,200 is the price for a lock, essentially a lock in your lineup. Against the Twins, he's holding them to an average of 250. Against the current Twins hitting, that's the key thing. Not the Twins, the current hitters that are in the Twins lineup today. He's only holding them to 250 with an OPS of 575. The numbers are in Keuchel's favor. Another bat for Houston that you might want to consider. Obviously, it's my guy Correa. He's only been hitting 300 over the past 7 games, but it doesn't matter. This guy is a dynamic player. I've said it, man. I've said it all year long. This is my favorite player in the MLB. Besides, I wish he was an Oriole.
You wish the Orioles had like Bryce Harper.
I wish they had everybody.
Like you want Rizzo.
I do like Rizzo. I love Rizzo.
He could bet TH.
I wish everybody in this picture right here was in the Orioles. Not that you guys can see it. Let me see if I can. Yeah,
I love when you see it.
Dugout.
Everybody I love when you say that. You're like all the time. You're like, he'd look better in an Oriole. Well, yeah, no kidding. Like. Nelson Cruz would be great hitting at Citizens Bank Park every day, but
my God. Yeah, I thought we would be in trouble having Nelly's 40 home runs out of the lineup, but no, Chris Davis just back at it.
Yeah, man, but that was pretty dynamic when you had Cruz and Davis. I don't understand Cruz. I guess I do because Seattle is just overpaying for everybody, but I'm sure these guys know what the deal is with ballparks and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know. Cruz is still bopping, though. That don't matter. Cano had a rough start, but he's back. Oh, my God. I'm having some serious indigestion issues.
I know. Moving along here. Here we go. We got anybody tweeting in at us? Let me check real quick while you get your indigestion in check. Tell them about fantasydraft.com. I'm going to look to see if anybody's tweeting at us.
Fantasydraft.com, the website to go to for all your fantasy needs. If you really want to get involved in just the straight dynamic of fantasy sports, not have to worry about Ganondorf and his 3,000 lineup arsenal, fantasydraft.com is where you need to be. Sign up with the promo code Big3DFS. Get yourself a $10 ticket with NFL coming up. That is the main sport that everyone's dealing with right now. They got some great NFL contests that you can get yourself into.
Drew Brees is coming to my party. Drew Brees is coming to my party.
FantasyDraft.com. And also use the promo code Big3DFS.
That's important. If you want Drew Brees to come to your pizza party, use big3dfs.com. We're just joking. He's not going to come to your pizza party, but we might.
Yeah, and I like pizza, so you might not want to invite me, because if you invite me to your pizza party, there might not be any more pizza. Let us go. This matchup brings back memories, because the only time I went to Wrigley Field, these two teams played, but it's the Arizona Diamondbacks at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Ruby De La Rosa, the righty, 12-6 with a 4.46 ERA. Goes against Kyle Hendricks with his 6-6 record, 4.15 ERA. Cubs are a 172 favorite today with the over-under set at 9.5, and you got the wind blowing out at 9 miles an hour. So we got some plays to talk about here. I obviously not targeting a pitcher. I'm not even thinking about pitchers for the rest of the day since we talked about Keuchel. What bats you like here?
Well, I got to tell you, Cam, I really like Fowler. Fowler at 3,100 today. He's going to get you an average of 375. He's got an OPS against De La Rosa. He's got an OPS against De La Rosa of 875. So, hey Al, I gotta say, Fowler for the Cubbies. Leave it on. He's got to be in your lineup.
You got to get some glasses, because I think that would be perfect.
I don't have any glass. I got my contacts in. But I could use a nice cold
Budweiser. That's where it is not at for me.
Top it off with a cold Budweiser. Maybe I'll have seconds. I don't know.
That's my best Harry Carey.
That was very good. That was very good.
That's not real good.
If we had the applause button.
As a tribute to the Cubbies, that was my Harry Carey. I need white hair.
Hey, Cam!
I would definitely. Oh crap! I have the effect.
We all know the moon ain't made of cheese, but if it was, would you eat it? Hell, I would. I'd have seconds.
Hey Norm, if you were. There you go. There you go.
Hey, is Nick here?
He's not. No, but you know what? Like I love the one where he says, "Hey Norm, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?" Hell, I would. I'd smother myself in mustard and relish. I'd be delicious.
I would just be delicious.
Harry's Cubs today, probably going to do some damage on De La Rosa. If we're looking at some bats here, I think Anthony Rizzo is certainly in play. Miguel Montero is back in the lineup, so that's a decent option to have, although he's been absolutely pitiful the last couple of times that I've rostered him. So he's coming up upon like June and August Chris Bryant territory for me right now. So I don't know what it is with these Cubs. Like I developed these severe hatreds for these friggin' players. But yeah, I mean, lefties are probably the ones to target here in this one. You know, De La Rosa has some pretty weird splits. You know,
he's not bad numbers against the Cubbies.
No, I mean, against left-handers, you know, he's given up a 400 WOBA, only 15% strikeout rate. You know, against right-handers is where he's much better. So the left-handed bats, you know, like you said, Fowler, Chris Coghlan.
Harry Carey said Fowler.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, every single left-handed bat for the Cubs today is absolutely in play. Especially they get a little bit of a ballpark boost today with the wind blowing out. So definitely.
Yeah, I was talking to Rizzo here in the dugout. Yeah, and,
how is he?
Rizzo's good. He's got a blank stare. He's got like a little 5,000-yard stare, you know, out of the dugout here at TWWHQ South. He's looking at Ruby right now, warming up. So you know he's looking good. I think the stick of Rizzo is definitely going to be swinging heavy today. He's not my first baseman, but he's one of them, if that makes sense.
Right.
I like you said, Harry Carey spoke about their Dexter Fowler earlier, man. 3,100, he's in the lineup. You mentioned the splits against the lefty-righty guys. Fowler is definitely in play today at Wrigley Field.
At the Cubs, Wrigley Field.
Let's show. Well done.
Hey, MC, thank you very much for bringing everybody all this talent. Thanks a lot. Hey, John Lester, stop crying and throw the ball.
Any Diamondbacks for you?
Well, Goldie, but he's just not at the price that he's at. There's another first baseman in the lineup. Right. It doesn't matter who the guy is on the mound. Paul Goldschmidt, you've heard me say it, man. He is the best. My opinion, he's the best overall hitter in the MLB. The only reason why the guy is not like 40 home runs, 40 doubles, 40 steals every year is because he's in Arizona. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go into that. I'll go into a story next time about what my dad saw Mickey Mantle one time in some podunk bar on the Eastern Shore, or not bar, but like a restaurant on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And well, hell, I might as well just go into it now, right?
All right. Yeah.
Hey, it was about when Jose Canseco, right? In his day, he was a lot of 40 doubles, 40 steals. You know what I mean? He's just like, hey, you hear about this Canseco? Hey, Mick, you hear about this Canseco kid? You know, doing this 40 doubles, 40 steals type of thing. Mick turns around, first thing he says, yeah, I heard about it. If they would have made a big deal, if they would have made such a big deal about it back in my day, I would have done it every damn year. And that's the Mick, baby. That's the Mick.
That's awesome.
He's a Yankee, but I love him, man. I mean, I wish I would have got a chance to see him play live, man. I listened to Billy Crystal talk about just him describe the Yankees of back in the day. Those of you, we mentioned our top 5 baseball picks this year, or our baseball movies over the week.
Right.
I left one movie out. It's called 61 by Billy Crystal. It was done by Billy Crystal. It's got Barry Pepper in it, Thomas Jane. Just a really, really awesome movie to check out, man. 61 by Billy Crystal.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite movies ever. I love it, and I hate the Yankees so much, which makes it even more, awesome that I love the movie. But yeah, definitely one that you need to check out.
Awesome story about 1961 Yankees, Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hey, it's hysterical. Yesterday when I was tailgating for the comedy show, I was talking with one of my buddies, and one baseball movie that I don't think anybody ever thinks about, but The Fan with Bob De Niro.
Oh my
Wesley
God.
Snipes. Juan Primo gets his 11 badge stabbed off of his arm. Like, yeah, that's a great movie. We were talking about that yesterday. I was like, oh, I got to mention. I'm glad you mentioned the baseball movie.
That is a pretty good movie. That was also out of my top 10.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many baseball movies, though. How do you
you got to kind of like classify it when we was kids, too, right? Because when we was kids, Little Big League, The Sandlot.
Little Big League, not a bad one, too, yeah.
Me and my boy just watched last night or 2 nights ago, man.
Nice.
It's a great movie, dude.
Ken Griffey Jr., Rob's.
A lot of good cameo. Mickey
Rob's
Tell.
the guy that's banging his mom at the end.
To the big leagues, kid.
Yeah. Yeah, tremendous movie. Now, listen, I want to talk about this too. So the wind at Wrigley is blowing out 9 miles an hour, and it's blowing out towards left center, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So do you find any credence to the fact that, let's say, a left-handed hitter, is that kind of a detriment for them since the ball, typically they're going to pull the ball?
Out.
Do you find it as a detriment for the left-handed hitters?
No, because the ball carries, especially with the wind at that. It's a big park, anyways, right? But the wind at that speed, it's going to carry. As long as the ball gets up in the air. And you mentioned, so if it's coming from a left-handed hitter, depending on the speed or how he hits the ball, it's going to tail. It's going to going to hook or tail. So I can't really use that right now, just because I'm ignorant to it, I guess.
No, I mean I wasn't expecting
it's
the
interesting.
answer.
I mean, it's definitely got me thinking now. I really hate the fact that we got a crunch time to get our lineups in now, because now I want to second guess myself after you told me that little nugget.
Yeah, but it's not something that I was looking on the answer for. I was just like a little conversation topic, because I've always wondered that, and I guess I got to get a weatherman on the horn to see if that's actually true or not. But I mean, laws of physics would make you think that.
You need a brain here. I got a decent education at the University of Texas, but I didn't get a football education apparently.
Right.
Sorry guys. It's just come on, man. All right, dude. A third of our offense was made up off of a 40-yard catch last night, and immediately after that, he runs the ball up the middle twice, back-to-back times, and then we throw it on third down. No one covers. We just can't even catch. We couldn't even catch it on third down, and then we kicked the field goal. It's just, and again, Charlie Strong's doing great things at UT. He really is. He's turning the program around. He's making some key changes in personnel. It's gonna be a rough struggle, but everybody. This is the age and era of instant. We want instant gratification. We want it now. It just sucks. Good things come to people that wait, and hopefully that's what Charlie Strong brings to UT football. And I'm waiting for it. So
touchdown, Jesus!
Yeah, touchdown, Jesus! I told you yesterday. Yeah, that's what had happened. All night last night, and it just resonated. You know what I mean?
Over and over and over. All right, let's move it along. I got a down call here in this game. Texas at the Angels of Los Angeles.
Colby Lewis and the Snooze.
Yeah, Colby with that 14-7 record, 4.50 ERA. Go up against Hector Santiago, the Southpaw, 7-9 with a 3.37 ERA. Angels, slight favorites there at -127. And we got an over-under of 8.5 today, so looking like we're going to see some runs out on the left coast. My dong call, Mike Trout. It's about time, kid. It's about damn time. Last night he hit the friggin' top of the wall. Today he's facing a guy in Colby Lewis that he's absolutely owned over the course of his career. 10-26. What do you got here? 3 homers, 9 RBIs. Has struck out 8 times, but I'm not too worried about that. The OPS off Lewis is 1.368. It's about time Trout goes yard. Today's the day that it's happening.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. You spoke testament to Colby Lewis and the Snooze's ERA. So you need about 5 runs just to beat this guy, right? He's got a 14-7. He's got a 14-7 record. He can be beat, right? You got to score over 4 runs to beat this guy, and that's what's happened 7 times. I think the Halos here take it with a 6-mile-an-hour wind blowing out in over in Los Angeles and Anaheim. It's Los Angeles. But anyways, it's a Halo stack today. All right, so for 4,300, Trout's in your lineup with an average of 385, slugging 885. An OPS of 1368 that you mentioned just a second ago against Lewis. Another guy hitting right in front of him. The lineups aren't out yet for this game. It's a 3:55 Eastern Standard Time game. But Cole Calhoun, 3,300 as well. He's just tearing Lewis up. 435 lifetime average against him, slugging 739 with an OPS of 1174. And then my guy at first base today for 3,500, Albert Pujols. He's going to be licking those lips right before the ball
like LL.
I'm calling Dong Day. Get that dong thing ready because Dong Day, Albert. Yeah. Oh. I'm telling you, man. Pujols, 391, slugging 826 with an OPS of 1211 against Colby Lewis and the Snooze. You got to go there, man. It's definitely a Halo. It's a Halo Blue Jay stack lineup today for me. You like anybody else on the Texas side? I got a few bats, but before I steal your thunder, I maybe want to give it a chance to you. Or
I'm a big fan of Delino DeShields Jr. Typically leading off for that Texas team. Not a huge power guy, but that's all right. Going up against Santiago. I'm looking at his stats here. Santiago's a lefty, and they got his stats against right-handers. That's stupid, but that's fine. DeShield going to run you 3,100 today, which isn't a bad price at all for him. Little slumpish of late, but I really like DeShield. getting off the mend. He's just had a rough road trip. Once he got out of Texas, I think somebody lost his dog. Maybe he's got to go to Colorado to find it. But I mean, just having a rough one on the West Coast trip. Hopefully he can get it turned around today. Don't think I'm going to put him in my lineup, but I do like him. If we're talking, right-handed bats on Texas, Elvis Andrus at short isn't a bad play. I just like as Drupal a lot more going to New York with that better park. That's really it for me on the Texas side.
Right on. I'm not going to play him today, but just some notables. Adrian Beltre, 3,200 versus Santiago. He's got a career average of 292 with an OPS of 1164. And then at second base, a little bit pricey for your second baseman. 2,400 or 3,400, you'll get Odor versus Santiago with an average of 538 just an astronomical OPS of 1548. So he's slugging 1,000 against this guy. Again, not a huge home run hitter Odor is, but it's worth mentioning. Those numbers with the slugging percentage and his OPS at 1548. But yeah, again, Halo stack, guys. Halo stack. Get it in your lineup.
Do it. All right, let's move it along. Seattle Mariners are at the Oakland A's. Hisashi Iwakuma, 6-3, 4.22 ERA. Going up against Sean Nolan, making his debut today. He's a southpaw. A little bit of background on him. Not too great there. He's been a minor league pitcher. I'm looking at his write-up right now. Just says he's been decent, So we got if we got a left-hander going against Seattle, obviously Nelson Cruz, Franklin Gutierrez are in your lineups. Cruz at that astronomical price, that's okay. Probably going to do some damage today. And the wind's blowing out. And no, I'm sorry. Cruz is only at 4,000. And what do we got here? He hasn't played in the last couple of days, huh?
What's that?
I said Cruz hasn't played in the last couple of days.
He's a little banged up. He's been nursing some things, but it doesn't look that serious.
All right, well, if not him, then Gutierrez. Definitely. It does say Cruz could be back in the lineup today, but, I'm always a little skeptical about, guy coming back from injury.
I like Iwakuma here.
Okay.
I like Iwakuma. At 8,700, Iwakuma, he's holding the A's to 255 average. It's in that big A's ballpark. I like that as well. The thing that scares me a little bit is the OPS of 722. I'd like to have it around 6 or 5, even better. But again, the A's against Iwakuma, they're getting on base at a percentage of 722. Some bats in this lineup are from the A's as well. For 2,200, I think this is a great value play. This guy is in my lineup at second base. It's Sogard. Iwakuma. Again, he's not going to hurt Iwakuma hitting the long ball because he doesn't hit the long ball. I'm just saying he's going to get you some points. 33 or an average of 333, 333. All right. So an average of that, and then an OPS of 824 or 842 rather. Again, some decent numbers to have against Iwakuma. Don't think he's going to hurt you or he's not going to hurt Iwakuma taking him out of the yard, but. I struggled a little bit today trying to find my pitcher, and I think I've landed it on Iwakuma just because of his value, the park that he's in. He's got some decent run support. It depends on the lineups aren't out yet. I'd like to see Cruz be in that lineup. I'd like to see the bats that are going to be for Seattle. I could be switching and going to going up to Estrada. I could have Estrada in my lineup against the Birds. I don't know. There's some good pitchers. I want Keuchel, obviously.
Right. I was going to say, can I deter you from going off of Iwakuma just because, look, I know Oakland isn't that great, but they really don't strike out that much. Iwakuma's kind of struggled here in his last couple starts. Actually, since throwing the no-hitter. Kind of could see that coming just because, you throw so many pitches. You have that tremendous moment, and then it's tough to get your head back into it.
Have a natural letdown, yeah.
Yeah, But yeah, it just against the A's too. A's are fairly decent at home. I know, this year isn't like any year that they've had recently. I'm telling Kukul, it's Kukul Day. Keuchel, whatever the hell his name is.
I just got to find a way. I can't. I mean, Christ,
we'll talk. We'll talk. I got some ideas.
That's 3,000 more, almost $2,000 I got to find a way to get out of my bats for that, man. I don't know. That's a lot.
I got ideas, Wags. We'll
All
talk.
Right. We'll talk after the show. We'll only have about like 10 minutes to wrap it up. But
we got only a couple games left. We should be all right. Where we at here? Dodgers, Padres.
1 second, giving you guys a time hack. You got about 40 minutes to get those lineups secured for the FanDuel contest. So check it out.
Mariachi music. All right. Dodgers at the Pods. Battle of the left coast. Brett Anderson, the southpaw, 8-8, 3.43 ERA, going up against Andrew Kashner, guy with a mullet, 5-13, 4.15 ERA. Dodgers minus 127 favorites, and the over/under is set at 7 here today. I think Brett Anderson's a fairly decent option today. Granted, Padres have a lot of exceptional right-handed bats. Anderson doesn't strike that many folks out. So this is more of a ballpark play, and the Padres I have no faith in them whatsoever. Not going to go the route of Anderson, but I'm just saying if you like going against me, then that's probably a decent option.
Well, yeah, and I think Anderson's definitely going to get some run support. You mentioned Kashner with that just horrific 4.15 ERA, 5-13 record. They're not giving him any run support, so look for the Dodgers to have the run support there. 7 runs is what Vegas is calling. Maybe those 7 runs come all from the LA Dodgers. For 3,100, Adrian Gonzalez is going to get in your lineup against Kashner. He's batting .367, slugging .800 with an OPS of 1206. That's definitely something that you want to have in your lineup. He's 400 less than Albert Pujols. I love the Halo matchup today, but if you don't and you want to go with a little Dodgers stack, Adrian Gonzalez definitely noteworthy. AJ Ellis, again, lineups aren't out yet. AJ Ellis has awesome numbers against Kashner, hitting.
What are they?
455, 993.
Wow.
Awesome numbers. Numbers. And then Crawford as well. Crawford 375, hitting 958 OPS. Hitting 375 with an OPS of 958. Again, that average for AJ Ellis, 4.55. 4.55. And these guys, all of these hitters have seen him a significant amount of times. I think my minimum rule now is that you have to have 15 at bats for me to play you, or for me to take the numbers serious as a decent scaled range. I know I mentioned earlier, Alexei Ramirez only has 6 at bats, but he's 4 for 6, so he sees them well. That's one thing that you can scale. You kind of got to play with it a little bit. Again, that's your feeling, not mine. This is my feeling. I don't know if it's yours. I'm just sharing it with you.
Hey, you were just talking a little bit ago about, I got to find some ways to, if I want Keuchel, I want to, be able to have some ways to fit some money in there. Well, the Dodgers are a perfect way to do that. You got guys like Gonzalez, 3,100, even an Utley at 2,900, Justin Turner at 2,800, Rollins at 2,800. I mean, these are all affordable prices.
The main thing I got to do is Donaldson. Donaldson is just taking up my whole budget at 6. Or 50.
Yeah, that'll do it. You can't have Donaldson and Keuchel. That's not going to work. It's going to work. It's just financially.
Right.
Another match, Jed Jerko today against the lefty. I think that this is a pretty good matchup. 2,700 on FanDuel for your second base lineup. He's having himself a nice series here against the Dodgers. 3-12, but he's got 2 homers and 4 ribs in that span. 0 for last night, but Dodgers pitching pretty damn good. I like that price point a lot. I'm just looking at my lineup right now, and I have $600 extra. So I had Scooter Jeanette in there at second base. Maybe I go to Jerko, but I don't know. A lot of runs to be had in that Milwaukee-Cincinnati game.
Mm-hmm.
Another cheap. I mean, we talked about him before, but Victor Martinez today, 2,200 batting cleanup. I'm thinking I'm going to go that route over Jaso. That's just the better play, I think. I know Jaso at Yankee Stadium with the short right field porch, but I don't know. I kind of, especially since Archer's pitching, you're probably going to get Nova with his best effort. For the Tigers,
yeah, but it's Archer.
Yeah. All right, here we got a couple. I mean, again in this Padres game, Cam Upton against the lefty, not bad plays at all.
Yeah, my bats are coming from the LA Dodgers in this one.
Yeah. All right, so we have about 2 games left to go, and from anemic offense to amazing offense. We've got the San Francisco Giants at Colorado Rockies. I should say amazing offense potential for one team here anyway. Madison Bumgarner goes to the Giants, 16-7, 2.96 ERA, going against Johan Flande. So a matchup of 2 lefties in this one. Flande at 3-1, 4.04 ERA. Giants 180 favorites in this one. Over under 10 in this
10
one.
runs.
Which is kind of surprising with Bumgarner on the mound. Now, Bumgarner pitched very well against the Dodgers in his last start. That was the game where he went head-to-head against Greinke. I got that W by Greinke. Thank you very much. Bumgarner could have easily got that win. The Dodgers made some pretty sick plays to save that win for Greinke. I was amazingly lucky to have that go my way for once. But, Bumgarner against Colorado is a very good matchup. According to the rankings on Roto Grinders, they have Bumgarner as the 3rd highest rating of the day.
Wow.
But still, look at the stats here. Colorado's WOBA 26th in the league. Their K percentage 27th in the league. Most of the guys that scare, that put the scare of fear in your lineup for the Rockies are left-handed, aside from Arenado.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm just trying to justify people paying up for Bumgarner. I think you will be happy with the payoff. You'll probably get the W going against Flande. I think you could go Bumgarner. I'd rather go Keuchel, but you could probably do it.
I'd take Keuchel over Bumgarner just because he's in Colorado. Mad Bum is in Colorado. It's no way.
It's not a bad tournament play for Bumgarner at all. You really you want to take a crack at this on a cheap one, by all means go for it, because his ownership level today is going to be incredibly low.
Good possibility, but we were speaking about Mad Bum having some decent numbers against Colorado, but a guy that just tears Mad Bum up is Cargo. Cargo has faced Mad Bum 43 times. All right, he's faced Bumgarner 43 times. He owns an average of 349, just under 350. 349. He slugged 767 against this guy with an OPS of 1172, and he's got 5 home runs against Bumgarner. So he obviously sees him well. And no one's been hotter than Cargo Gonzalez. Maybe Votto. But this dude. Last 7 games, 310, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. How do you not have this guy in your lineup?
Colorado.
5,600 is what he's going to cost you, but it might be worth it. I don't know how you can afford him with other bats in your lineup and some decent pitching, but we have to talk about him. His numbers are off the charts, man.
I know. And look, in this hot streak, all these games in Colorado. So Cespedes had an amazing weekend in Colorado how many ever weeks ago, and then he comes back down to earth once he gets back to the East Coast. That's certainly helping him out. And believe me, I'm not. Well, you know what? I am. I'm downplaying Cargo's hot streak due to the ballpark. But
of course, sure. That's a valid statement. But
you know what? But for 5,600 today, going against.
But he's in that ballpark, though. He's in it.
But he's there. I can't justify paying 5,600 for him today. Going against an elite left-handed arm at that. So I'm totally off the cargo today. But I'm all in on some right-handed San Francisco Giants bats. That I could do. Marlon Byrd, first of all, for 4,000. Little pricey. You'll be happy with the payoff. Buster Posey, especially 4,300 a catcher if you can get that. I will be going the route of Victor Martinez, but that's still a good payoff. Matt Duffy, we're looking for you, Duffy. Where are you? He's been struggling a bit lately, but
I think he's down there right under 3,000 at like 27.
Duffy, where are you? Hello. Yeah, 2,900. Fine. He had a great night last night. So, Jesus. Guess what? He's the same exact price as Shaw today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, what you do? I really like Shaw today. And I think that's going to be a very low-owned guy, as opposed to Duffy. He'll probably be one of the higher-owned guys.
Prove me wrong today.
I don't know. I might have to split lineups here. Damn it! Why can't I play both of you? But yeah, Duffy at 2,900 in cores. That's a steal. So yeah. Lefty righty matchup 2,900 in cores.
Sorry, I'm yawning, man. You're not boring me at all. I'm just. It's been a long night of drinking. Texas didn't show up, man.
Yes, much understood. No offense taken. All right, so we got one more game left before we all head out for lineup lock duty. That is the ESPN Sunday night game. So if you want a late night bet, there are some pretty good options here. Garrett Cole tonight, 15-8, 2.64 ERA, going against Lackey, 11-8, 2.87 ERA. The Cardinals slight favorites here at 110, over under set at 7. Garrett Cole, everyone keeps. Look at the stats too: 15-8, 2.64 ERA. He's having a great year. For whatever reason, he's just. It seems like he's been getting lit up a lot lately. So maybe the arm's tired. The Marlins took it to him recently. I can't do it. I'm not doing Cole. It is a pretty decent option there at 9,400.
The best team in baseball that he's going up against, man.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm not going to go that route. I think with Lackey on the other side, you could probably get some pretty good bats in there against him. Who do you like for bats in this one?
There's some value here with Peralta. Again, it's not really smart to play anybody in this game, especially when the lineups lock at 1 o'clock, because we don't know who's going to play. But if I was going to take a risk and a guess, Peralta against Cole, he's got decent numbers, hitting 353 with OPS of 859. He's going to cost you 2,300 today at shortstop. Again, this is a guy that has potential to leave the yard. He's not just going to get on base and get some singles. This is your shortstop that actually produces runs. He's been a little quiet of late, but his counterpart is his partner in crime in this lineup is Matt Carpenter for 3,300. Again, Carpenter's not a huge home run guy. He's got 2 in his lifetime off Cole, but he's hitting 313 with slugging 688 and an OPS of 1076. So these are some bats to think about in the Cardinals lineup. But you and I talk about this a lot. The Cardinals play small ball, and that can really hurt you in fantasy baseball. You know what I mean? For instance, Wong, you still get the out if he sacrifices a runner over and advances the runner. Right? The only time that the run doesn't hurt you or the sacrifice doesn't hurt you is when the run comes in to score. So again, something that might deter you from taking any Cardinals in your lineups. They're not huge home run hitters. They just produce runs with small ball baseball. So,
yes, and Carpenter's a great play here tonight. The numbers off of Cole are fairly decent. You can be pretty much assured that he's going to be in the lineup tonight. I think with this Cardinals team, we've kind of know who the usual suspects are. Jason Hayward, I like tonight, left-handed back going against him. Sure, Yachty will get the start, primetime game, nighttime. He had enough time to relax. Pittsburgh too, man. They got some great bats. This is one of my favorite teams to watch in the entire league. Just a very exciting team to watch. McCutcheon there at 5,000, of course. I mean, who's having a better season?
Ryan Zimmerman is out today. I just got that.
Get out, really?
Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman is not in the lineup.
Huh.
It
Well,
says
that's
he's
all right.
right here, but they just updated it. Yeah, he's out.
Wow.
They just took him out.
He took a fly in the eye during warm-ups.
Sorry to cut you off. I just thought that
No, don't worry.
we
That's
needed to get out there.
useful information. So yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh, you can go any route. You can go Polanco, Marte here. Neil Walker's even a very interesting play at second base. Always has the potential to go yard.
2,400 today. Some
Really?
low.
Yeah, 2,400. Holy Moses.
Man, why can't I remember this shit when I was taking my tests or exams at UT, man? If everything was just made for DFS or stats, I would be a goddamn genius, Gump.
Well, they do have analytics. I mean, right? Isn't that a major?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not majoring in it.
Analysis fun. I know it's funny. Like now, I mean, yeah, I am a writer, but journalism is like okay. It's like it's not like I want the effect that people get when they say like a doctor or like an aeronautical chemist or some shit like that. Like,
you're
wow,
you majored in poli-sci. Yeah.
Holy
You're a
shit.
bullshitter. Yeah.
Oh shit, you work for NASA. Nice. Like I want that kind of pop when I talk to people. But
Well, how about
journalism-
you work for yourself? You manage your own DFS company. Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, we do.
It's great. I talking to this girl. So when I first met her, I said, "Hey, it's like, oh, like, what do you do?" And it's like, I told her like everything with the fantasy. So I told her, it's like, I kind of feel like Dale from Step Brothers, where they're like, well, what do you do for a living? I manage a baseball team. He's like, Little League? No, fantasy.
Baseball team. Oh, Little League? No, fantasy.
And
You
he takes the sip of like Kool-Aid with such conviction, like fantasy.
Fantasy. Yeah, you don't say that. Oh my
Remember
god!
my
I'm gonna
first-
watch that tonight, man. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
That's a tremendous movie. All right,
Actually, I'm not gonna watch that tonight. I want to thank my new follower, a local follower in Austin, Texas. He actually has hired me to come down to his house and do his fantasy football draft for him.
Oh,
I am not going to say his name over the air because I don't want the people that are in that league with him to get pissed. But I just want you guys to know that there are some pros drafting in your amateur league. Want you to know that. Got to throw that out there. Disclaimer.
Actually, there's a lawyer who works in the building that I work in. So lunchtime on Friday, I hooked him up pretty nice with like the cheat sheet and like who you should be targeting late and all that. I don't have lunch every day.
Consultate 10-minute consultations on the telephone. It's quick, personal, and it will help you out. Call us up.
Well, you know what I plan during NBA. I plan on doing Google Hangouts with my customers.
Well, and I'm going to be on that Google Hangout with you because I need you to hook me up.
You're free. You got the passcode for life. You're good.
Damn here, brother. You do too, man.
What is it? Oh yeah. Oh, so wait, you're going to the guy's house tonight?
Yeah, he's in here.
How are you sure this isn't like a rape setup?
Dude, have you seen me, man? I was an 11-year infantry Marine. I can hold my own.
All right, fair enough. I just don't want you getting wet work, and then we come back here next weekend, you telling us about all the wet work you got,
Nah, I won't get wet work. Trust me, man. Hey, this is Texas. You can carry here.
You can carry. I know. That's one of the positives about going down there. Hey, guess what? Guess what is
That's
happening?
another thing, dude. No one, you know how road rage is off the charts everywhere?
Yeah.
You fly somewhere, you piss somebody off on the road here in Texas, they don't say nothing because they're carrying. You know what I mean? Everybody, oh, thank you for cutting me off.
I'm sorry. Are you okay? Would you like some of these cookies I was about to bring to the children's hospital? Oh, God. No, if people here in New York and New Jersey had guns, there would be nobody left. Like, it would be insane. 7 days from today, the first Sunday of NFL season. So
Thursday too. We got Thursday football coming up.
Yes, that's right. So we're gonna actually do a football show during the week.
Wednesday night, right?
Saturday morning we'll be back for college football, and Sunday we're doing the NFL show.
So, again, guys, Al speaks really good. We're going to start easing off with the DFS, MLB stuff. You guys can still get at us at our websites for personal information with MLB. But, I mean, for an audience to the masses, football is now here.
Yes.
And that's what we all love. That's what we crave. Baseball just gets us through.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a passionate baseball fan. I'm a romanticist about baseball. However, football is what drives this market, and that's what we're here for. We're here for you. Come hook us up, or we'll hook you up. Give us your information, and we'll give you all the stuff that we know about DFS. So we need your information. Come to our website, subscribe. Let us get your email address so we can get all the valid information out to you, or the pertinent information out to you. You can see now you can reach Al at 14a.walsh. You can find me at thewagnerwire.com. It's legit. It's free information, man. We're not here to rob you. We're here to make you win. We're not going to get much out of a dollar lineup. We don't sell dollar lineups anymore. I'm just here in order for you to get some good money in this DFS arena. If you want to tip me, that's great. I do charge for consultations and for drafts, doing your own a full season of a fantasy draft, and I'll stay with you for that whole season, make some roster changes with you, consult with you on trades that you do as well. Al does the same thing. He is a huge NBA guru. Got me like 200. Got my pot up to got my bank account pot. You have to clarify things.
Agreed.
You got my bankroll up in NBA, almost 200 plus, man. How do you not want that in your life? Thank you, Al. Thank you for coming and finding me. I want to thank 6'5 Advisors and FantasyHelp.com for putting us in that arena together as well.
Yes, absolutely.
He likes barbecue. Check him out.
Class is now in session, people. It's the big time of the year. This is the time where every day is just major money day coming up. So
let's do it.
Let's get it done. All right, so lineup block here in about 20 minutes. Everybody have a good Sunday, and I don't know, MLB tomorrow?
MLB?
I know it's a holiday, but are you I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you know what? Spontaneous, why not? Is Nick doing the keys? Can Nick do it from the keys? Let's see if Nick can do it from the keys.
He might be back from the keys.
He could be back from the keys. Yeah. So we'll make an announcement later on. A little tentative schedule right now for MLB DFS. But yeah, one more time, just around the horn, where we can all be found. You can find Al Walsh at 14a.walsh.
Right there at the bottom.
Adam Wagner at the Wagner Wire, at thewagnerwire.com, or on Twitter. Either way, I'm going to get you to come to my site, all right? Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Al, I love you, baby. Where are we going after this?
Woo! I'm working on the website today. I got to finish.
I'm on my website as well, man.
I want this finished up by Monday, so I'm going to be putting in some heavy work today. And then I got to go get some office items. I got to help out the grandma later. She needs some help. So
look at you, good Samaritan.
Well, that's the thing, man. I moved down here to the Jersey Shore so I can get all the riffraff, out of my life and just focus on this DS. And my family's down here, so
God, man, I'm loving that. That backdrop behind you is hot, dude. I see the Flatiron Building right behind you, man. I had a bagel down there with Frank Clements, my boy Frank Clements.
Who the hell is Frank Clements?
Frank Clements, my boy Frank Clements.
I know, but you said it like he's on Seinfeld, like his favorite. Oh God! All right, I need some time to work on the lineups.
All right, man. That's enough from us, man. You've heard us run our fuck all damn day.
Go get that money today, baby.
Baby. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Al. Later.
Peace.